Hello students, in this video we are going to see the introduction of the anatomy. First of all, what is anatomy? Anatomy is the science which deals with the structure of the body. So in case of human anatomy, it is the science which deals with the structure of the human body. The term anatomy is derived from a Greek word an anatom, and its meaning is cutting up. So anatomy is not merely a dissection, but it is a dissection plus study, and it is foundation of whole art of medicine, and it introduces most of the medical terminology to the students. Now the subdivisions of anatomy. First is cadaveric anatomy, in which we study preserved dead body. So we study preserved dead body in region wise or system wise. So in region wise we can study the upper limb, lower limb, thorax, abdomen, head and neck and brain. So this is dead body. Suppose this is dead body. When we study upper limb, lower limb, thorax, abdomen, head and neck and brain. So these all are regional anatomy. Now systemic anatomy, it includes skeletal system, muscular system, articulatory system, vascular system, nervous system, respiratory system, digestive system, urogenital system and endocrine system. So in this study we study the anatomy system wise. So this is skeletal system, this is muscular system and this is cardiovascular system. This is endocrine system, in which we study endocrine glands, nervous system, then respiratory system, this is digestive system, this is urogenital system and this is articulatory system, in which we study joints. Next subdivision is living anatomy, when we study the live body with the help of clinical methods like by inspection, palpation, percussion, auscultation. So this is living anatomy. Now embryology, when we study the development of a newborn baby, then it is known as embryology. It is also called as developmental anatomy. Now histology, when we study any structure of the body with the help of microscope, then it is known as histology or microscopic anatomy. Now surface anatomy, when we study the deeper structure of the body in relation to skins. As shown in this photograph, heart is situated in the thorax and border of heart can be studied by the surface anatomy of heart. Then radiographic and imaging anatomy, when we study anatomy with the help of radiographic techniques like X-ray, USG, CT scan and MRI. So these are the techniques included in the radiology. So this is radiographic and imaging anatomy. Then comparative anatomy, this is the branch of anatomy in which we compare the different animals or different structures, different animals but the same structure. As shown in this figure, there is a evolution of uh, upper limb from whale to the human. So in case of whale, mole, cat, horse and then human, there are several differences. So when we study these differences, this anatomy is known as comparative anatomy. Then physical anthropology. Here we anthropology means measurement. So in this subdivision of anatomy, we measure different dimensions of the body of same species but different races. So here this photograph shows the evolution of human being from the monkey. So in this evolution period, different races are studied with the help of special instruments like anthropometers and like that. So this anatomy is physical anthropology. Now applied anatomy. Applied anatomy means the application of knowledge of anatomy in clinics to make diagnosis and treatment. So this is applied anatomy. Suppose this is the posterior view of humerus, which is related with three nerves: axillary nerve, radial nerve, and ulnar nerve. So by knowing the location of these nerves, if there is fracture of that side, means at upper part of fracture of humerus may cause damage to axillary nerve, middle part fracture may cause damage to radial nerve, and the lower part damage may cause injury to ulnar nerve. So because of the knowledge of the anatomy, we can identify the lesion. Now experimental anatomy, in which we study the factors and influences which determine the size, shape, function of a particular organ. So suppose if we study the heart in running condition, the finding will be different as compared to the examination of the heart in sitting position, lying down position. So this is experimental anatomy. Now genetics. When we study genes, chromosomes, their structure, their function, their abnormalities, and the factors responsible for these abnormalities, so these all are included in genetics. Now, who is the father of medicine? Hippocrates is the father of medicine. So these are the photographs of Hippocrates. Who is the father of anatomy? Herophilus is the father of anatomy. And these are the photographs. Then anatomical nomenclature. So to make uniformity in the medical terminology in the word. So every organ or every part of the body is termed as particular name in whole of the world. So liver is called as liver in India, and liver is also called all around the world as liver. So it makes uniformity in the medical terminology. Now different positions of the body. Very important is anatomical position. This is the position on the basis of which we study all the structure of the body. So this is the anatomical position in which Body is standing erect, eyes, palm and toes facing forwards, arms hang by the side, both feet put together in close approximation. Then fundamental position, it is same as that of anatomical position, but difference is here the palm faces medially or towards body like this. Now supine position, in this position body is lying on back and head looking upwards, palm is directed upwards, toes directed upwards. Then prone position, it is just opposite to that of supine position. Here body is lying on thorax and abdomen and palm faces inferiorly, palm faces downwards. Then lithotomy position, this is the photograph showing lithotomy position, and it is mainly used in gynecological practice. Now different planes on the basis of which we study the structures. Median or mid sagittal plane, when body is divided into two equal right and left half by this plane, so this black dotted line shows mid sagittal or median plane. In this photograph the blue plane is mid sagittal plane. Now sagittal plane or sagittal position, parallel to the mid sagittal plane, this red dotted line shows the sagittal planes which are parallel to the mid sagittal plane. Now coronal plane, if we cut the body into anterior and posterior half, two equal anterior and posterior half by this red dotted line, so this is coronal plane which is perpendicular to mid sagittal plane. So in this photograph this purple plane is coronal plane. Now transverse plane, when we cut body into two equal upper and lower half which is parallel to the ground, and this plane is perpendicular to both the mid sagittal plane and coronal planes. So here in this photograph the green plane is transverse plane. Now common terminology of the anatomy or the medical science. Anterior means towards front, this is anterior. Posterior means towards back, this is posterior. Medial, the structures towards midline is medial. Structures away from the midline is lateral. Structures near to the head is superior. Structures near to the feet is inferior. Now the terms used in relation to trunk. The larger part of body is trunk. So what is ventral or anterior? Same. The front of trunk is known as ventral or anterior of the trunk. Dorsal or posterior, back of the trunk. Medial and lateral means the structure of the trunk near to the midline is medial and away from the midline is lateral. Proximal, cranial or superior means the structure towards head is proximal, cranial or superior. Distal, caudal or inferior, the structures which is related to or near to the lower part of the trunk is called as distal, caudal or inferior. Ipsilateral and contralateral, when we talk of two structure of same side, then it is known as ipsilateral. When we talk of two structure which are opposite side, so this is contralateral. Ipsilateral means of same side, contralateral means of opposite sides. Now superficial and deep. So here there are two circles, one is outer and another one is inner. The outer one is superficial, inner one is deep. So here in body, human body, superficial means the structure near to the skin and the structure away from the skin is deep. Invagination and evagination. Inward projection is invagination, outward projection is evagination as shown in this photograph. Now the terms used in relation to lower limb. Medial border, in relation to limbs. Medial border, in the limbs, the border which is in close relation with the midline is medial. This is medial border of upper limb which passes through little finger. The lateral border is the outer border which passes through the thumb. Then palmar surface or dorsal surface. Palmar surface and dorsal surface. The anterior aspect of palm or hand is palmar surface and back of hand is dorsal surface. Flexor and extensor surface. So anterior surface of upper limb is flexor surface and posterior surface of upper limb is extensor surface. But in case of lower limb, anterior surface is the extensor surface and posterior surface is flexor surface. The difference is because of developmental phenomena of the newborn, of the baby, in which there is lateral rotation in case of upper limb and medial rotation of lower limb in the fetus. Now the common movements, flexion and extension. So flexion, in this photograph we can see this is normal position. When this anterior surface of elbow, also called as flexor surface, come closer and the angle is reduced like this. Here this movement is flexion, and when the flexor surface is away, is going away, and angle is increased like this. This is extension. Now abduction and adduction. In this photograph showing the adduction and abduction of shoulder. So the movement of upper limb opposite to the away from the body is abduction and towards body is adduction. Now circumduction, combination of all these movements means flexion, extension, adduction, abduction are called as circumduction as shown in this photograph. Then medial rotation and lateral rotation. Inward turning is medial rotation, outward turning is lateral rotation as shown in this photograph. Now in case of upper limb there are some different movements, supination and pronation. This is the movements of forearm, in which palm faces forward in case of extended elbow, and in semi-flexed elbow palm faces upwards in case of supination, and in case of pronation, which is just opposite to that of supination, here the palm faces backwards in extended elbow and downwards in semi-flexed elbow. adduction and abduction of digits, the movement of fingers away from middle finger is abduction, and movements of finger towards middle finger is adduction. Inward turning of wrist is adduction, outward turning of wrist is abduction of the wrist. The movements of thumb, so there are some difference in the thumb movement. You must remember what is flexion of thumb. So this is the photograph showing flexion, extension. This is the photograph showing extension. Abduction, this is the photograph showing abduction, where the thumb is perpendicular to the palm. Adduction, this is the photograph showing adduction. Circumduction, all the movements of thumb means rotation of thumb is circumduction. Then opposition, counting of finger by thumb is opposition. Now some movements, special movements in the lower limb. Plantar flexion of the foot, this is normal foot, this is plantar flexion, where the lower surface of foot is directed backwards and upper surface is directed forwards. Dorsiflexion of the foot, opposite to that of plantar flexion. Here the lower surface directed forward and upper surface directed backwards. Inversion of the foot, this is the normal foot, where the medial and lateral border of foot is on the ground. If medial border is off the ground and lateral border is on the ground, and lower surface of foot is directed medially or directed inwards. Eversion, just opposite to that of inversion, is when the medial border of foot is on the ground and lateral border off the ground, and lower border is facing outward. Now some movements in head and neck region. Flexion and extension, this is flexion and extension. Downward movement of head is flexion and upward movement of head is extension. Lateral flexion, lateralward or sideward bending is lateral flexion of the head. Rotation, sideward rotation of the head is known as rotation of the head. Opening of the mouth and closure of the mouth, this is the photograph showing opening and closing. In opening, the lower jaw depressed, and in closing, lower jaw elevates. Protraction and retraction, this is the photograph showing protraction and retraction of the lower jaw. Protraction means forward movement of lower jaw, and retraction means backward movements of jaw to the normal position. In trunk, flexion and extension, forward bending of trunk is flexion as shown in these photographs. Extension means the movement opposite to that of flexion, that is upward movements. Now lateral flexion, sideward bending is lateral flexion as shown in this photograph. Sideward rotation of the trunk is lateral rotation as shown in these photographs. Now the term used for describing muscles, so origin, insertion and belly. So in any muscle there are two ends, one is origin and another is insertion. So this is the photograph showing a muscle where there are two ends, upper end and lower end, and in between these two the brown color contractile part of the muscle. This brown color is belly, and upper and lower end is either origin or insertion. Origin is the end of muscle which is relatively fixed during contraction or during the movement of the muscle, and insertion is that end of muscle which is relatively uh, which moves with the contraction of the muscle. Then tendon, the fibrous rod like structures which connects the belly to the bone is tendon. So here in this photograph the white color rod like structure is tendon. Now aponeurosis, if the tendon is flat then it is known as aponeurosis as shown in this photograph. This is bicipital aponeurosis, the flattened tendon of biceps muscle. Then raphe, this is another fibrous structure. Here there is interdigitation of the tendons, flattened tendons. But the important thing about raphe is it has a property of stretchability. Now the terms used for describing vessels. So there are three types of vessels: arteries, veins and capillaries. Mainly arteries containing the oxygenated blood from the heart to the organs, and veins is vein containing deoxygenated blood from organ to the heart. So the red color in this photograph is artery and blue color is vein, and the networks of vessels connecting this artery and vein is capillary. What is anastomosis? Anastomosis is communication between these vessels, pre-capillary and post-capillary area. मतलब कैपिलरी बनने के पहले या कैपिलरी बनने के बाद अगर कम्युनिकेशन हुआ दो वेसल के बीच में, then it is known as anastomosis. So this is the anastomosis of the arteries of the brain. Now the terms used for describing bone features. So in bones there are some area which is elevated in form of tubercle, trochanter, spine, and some area which is depressed like groove, fossa, fovea. Then openings, then cavity, large cavity in case of we'll see in photograph. Foramens, different foramens through which the various structure pass, and the articular areas which is which takes part in formation of joint. So in this photograph this is the inferior view of skull bone showing different elevations and depression openings. In this photograph we can see the cavity, orbital cavity, and a cavity for eye, nasal cavity, cavity of nose, and the foramens through which various structure pass, and the articular areas. This is the photograph of this femur. The lower end of femur articulates with upper end of tibia. So the part of surface which takes part in formation of joint is articular area. It may be smooth, concave, convex. So these are the terms used in describing a bone. Better understand when we study separate bones. Now the term used in clinical anatomy, when the different suffix used in relation to organ, then their meaning is different. If there is the suffix itis means inflammation, like appendicitis. If this appendix, inflammation of appendix, then it is known as appendicitis. Ectomy means removal, like appendicectomy, removal of appendix. Otomy means open and close, like gastrotomy. Ostomy means making an opening and left it open, means like gastrostomy, then cholecystectomy, then oma means tumor means abnormal growth, like lipoma, fibroma. Then symptoms, what is symptom? Symptom is the complaint of the patient. Sign, when patient comes to the doctor and doctor elicit the important findings, is sign. Diagnosis is identification of the disease on the basis of symptoms and signs. Prognosis means forecasting the progression of the disease or result of the disease. Pyrexia means fever. Lesion means pathological changes in particular organ. Inflammation includes pain, tenderness, swelling, redness, and loss of function, like appendicitis, cholecystitis, gastritis. Okay. Thrombosis is formation of clot. Embolism, it is a detachment of thrombus from one area and lodgement of the thrombus to the other area. Hemorrhage means bleeding. Ulcer is discontinuity of the epithelium of skin or mucosa. Sinus, in this there is a formation of tract in which one end is open and another end is closed. Fistula, in fistula again formation of tract and both the ends are opened. Necrosis is the death of tissue, cells, organ. Degeneration, it is the just prior stage of death where there is a deterioration of the cell size, shape and function of the cells, and this is the reversible phenomena. Gangrene, it is a death of tissue, cells, organ plus putrefaction. Atrophy means diminution of the size of the cells due to poor blood supply, poor nutrition. Dystrophy, this is again diminution of the size of the cell due to disturbed nutrition, defective nutrition. Hypertrophy, there is increase in the size of the cell, is known as hypertrophy. Hyperplasia, there is increase in the number of cells. Hypoplasia means defective development. Syndrome means group of signs and symptoms constituting a particular disease. Paralysis means loss of motor activity of the muscle or body. Hemiplegia, hemi means half, so paralysis of half of the body. Paraplegia, para means both lower limbs, so paralysis of both lower limb is paraplegia. Monoplegia, mono means one, paralysis of one limb is monoplegia. Quadriplegia means paralysis of all the four limbs. Anesthesia, loss of sensitivity or touch sensation. Analgesia, loss of pain sensation. Hyperesthesia means increased sensitivity. Paresthesia means perverted or altered sensitivity. Coma means deep unconsciousness. Tumor means Non-inflammatory growth of tissue, cells, organ. Benign. Benign means mild illness or mild growth, which is which does not endangers life. Malignant means severe form of illness or growth which endangers life. Carcinoma is a uh, abnormal growth of the epithelium or skin. Means the carcinoma is abnormal growth of ectoderm or endoderm, from ectoderm or endoderm. Sarcoma, uh, it is a cancer of this mesoderm or from connective tissue. Cancer, cancer means this abnormal growth of the body, है ना. It the all form of abnormal growth, whether it is arising from mesoderm, ectoderm or endoderm, so it includes carcinoma plus sarcoma. Then metastasis. Metastasis means spread of the disease, and this term is mostly used in case of cancer, where the cancer is spread to other area. Convalescence. Convalescence is the period between end of the disease and feeling of well-being. Now therapy. Therapy means medical treatment. Now the different color coding or color guidelines for drawing structure. When we use red color for arteries, blue color for vein, yellow color for nerves, pencil color for bone, brown color for muscle, where origin is drawn by brown color and insertion is drawn by blue color, tendon by green color, ligaments light blue color, capsule of the joint by green color, fascia by light green color, lymphatics, lymph node and all glands by purple color. And during development there are ectoderm, endoderm and mesoderm. So ectoderm is drawn by blue color, mesoderm by red or pink color, and endoderm by yellow color. So this is all about introduction of the anatomy. Thank you.